It's Thursday morning, and boy, is it early in the morning for me. I say that every time I stream this time of day. That's okay. This is Turtle Fleece practice because when I join Team Twitch, we are going to have raid trains, and they'll be assigned specific times for people to stream, and I believe they're 2-hour blocks. Last year we did one of those and we covered the full 24 hours. So it's fine if it's in a different time zone. You know, they do work with that. But I took a very early one last year. I think it was 7 to 9 or something like that, which is, I am not a morning person. That is so not me. It's just 10 o'clock here this morning, and I am going to do a little something different. I'm going to do some knitting. No reason except that I very rarely knit on the stream, and during Stash Dash, one of my goals is to get a number of these works in progress. So basically Thursdays are going to be Stash Dash days. Every day is going to be, because I can count when I spin also, but I am going to give one of the streams during the Stash Dash, and that's basically all summer. It runs until August 31st. So I will be working all summer long on knitting projects. They happen to be with hand spun in many cases, but not always. I have socks, and I have a stole scarf, okay, that's out of regular commercial yarn, both of those. So, you know, they'll be both the tie-in with hand spun and not necessarily. They'll just be regular, pretty commercial yarn. I am working on a rug today. I have this project from probably 2 years ago. One of the reasons I haven't finished it, let's back up. One of the reasons I started it, first of all, it's no pattern. I'm just doing this garter stitch. So it's garter stitch rows. And second of all, I have spun over the years a lot of very bulky yarn. I am talking 6 wraps per inch for a 2-ply, and it's not soft wool, right? And so it's not something you really want next to your skin. Plus, I'm not the kind of person who wants to knit something bulky to wear. I will go with DK and worsted for, you know, by all means. But when it gets to that super bulky, I think this is classified as super bulky. I'm not into that. I prefer to have it for something around the house. The three obvious answers to that is a rug, a pillow front that you back with another fabric, or make both ways. And the third is a purse or anything that you might try to felt. And I will tell you that bulky doesn't felt very well. It's just too much yarn in a space to squish down into a felted fabric. So the purse actually would work better not to felt it. Yeah, accessories, home, that kind of thing for bulky yarn. So that was my idea. I need to use up this bulky yarn. I had dyed it in very vivid colors in the hopes that I would fall in love with it because it was really pretty vivid colors. That didn't work. And I finally struck on the idea that there is a strip between my side of the bed and the closet that is probably 3.5, 4 feet wide, and I thought it would be really nice to have a rug that ran along that whole strip, and that's what I'm doing. I love what's happening with it. I really do. I'm very happy with it. My biggest concern is I have a color scheme going, and my biggest concern is I'm going to run out of yarn to follow that exact color scheme on the second half, and I'm about halfway done. Why did I put it down? It's on size 13 needles, and if you're a knitter and you have knit on great big huge needles, you know that it's kind of hard on your hands to knit any length of time. I have made it a goal this time, and I'll probably knit more during the stream, but I also probably will take some breaks and just talk during the stream. The goal during the stash dash is to try and knit a color block, which is 10 rows during the day in 2 different chunks, right? I haven't really hit that, but you know, it's a goal and I can make it or not make it. Why am I streaming so early in the morning? Because after I'm done here, we are taking off and going to stay at a motel overnight, somewhat towards the direction of the Fiber Fair that I'm going to on Friday. So I will drive straight home from the Fiber Fair Friday afternoon, evening. It's not that far, it's doable in a drive, but we're breaking it up with a little getaway, and hubby's like ready to go. So I said I would stream early so that we could leave after 12 o'clock sometime. And yeah, I'm all packed and ready. I'm ready to go too. Let me show you this rug. Oh, not that one. Sorry about that. There we go. I wasn't real sure how the camera would do with this. The colors are pretty good, pretty accurate. And I'm going to be messing with this camera all the stream because I'm going to want it more towards my lap. So here's the bottom of it with a ribbing in black. And then we have a light orange. This brown is a natural brown from the sheep color. Okay. We have a green that I dyed. And you can see I'm alternating the natural brown with the different colors. I have a very vivid orange, which actually is quite darker than it's showing on there. I mean, it pops. And then I'm repeating the colors. Light orange, green, dark orange. Now, after that, instead of picking up the brown, and on the edge, so that it lays flat, I have an uneven but fairly interesting black border. So you can see the difference between the natural color brown and this is natural color black from Black Welsh Mountain. Okay, so you can see the difference in colors there. So I have that on the very beginning and I have it on the edge. So the yarn chicken is basically the dark orange. That's the one I have the least amount of. And I may end up not having it. It's the last one, so I can get away with maybe sticking another one of these on, which I have. I mean, that is the yarn chicken. The black is a little short as far as amount, but I have more Black Welsh Mountain available, and I can pull from that stash if I have to. It's not quite as thick as this is. All right, and I was going to show you the yarns that I'm knitting are down there. I'll put this on my lap. The yarns that I'm knitting are down there on the floor in a box. These are the other yarns. Here's your brown that is going in between the green, the light orange. This here I am going to do a middle strip of, and it might even be more than 10. Now the whole point to this is using up this yarn, right? And I'll talk all about that while I'm knitting, because fortunately I don't have to follow a pattern, I don't have to think, it's just knit. So I'll talk all about that later. But I didn't use this in the ongoing thing. I liked the series of colors that I put together, but I'm going to stick this in the middle for a little pop. Alright, so where I was going with all this is I wanted to give you an idea of how, what the wraps per inch is on this. And I was off on the 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wraps per inch. Alright, so that's just under the bulky. I mean, it's just a little less than bulky. I call it bulky, but that's because, in truth, you can see how this is knitting up, even on these big needles. I don't think I'd want to wear this, right? This is not something I'd want to wear unless I would do like it's a serape. And I suppose if I used, instead of the garter, because of all the bumps, if I had used a stockinette and got a smooth side, it might have looked a little bit more wearable as a shawl or something like that. I make bulky yarn on a regular basis. There are times when the yarn, for whatever reason, just does not want to spin thin. And all of these occurred for that reason. Some of what was going on is there was the bat and all of that. I mean, it just didn't draft well. And I have no memory of what kind of wool this is. It's just wool, right? It could have been probably a let's see, probably a Rambouillet. It could have been a Corriedale. It's hard telling because I buy all sorts of things. You know, I home process the fiber, I dye it and everything, and I do keep records, but the records are from so many years ago that I don't want to dig them out of the files to find out. Someday I may find out. And of course I have this in Ravelry in my projects. When I run across that kind of information, I do update those project pages, but it could be, another year before I get all of that out and look at everything. Right. I have coffee this morning. Oh yes, it's still morning. So let's see how I can set this camera up here to be a little more on my knitting, and that's not what I want. I am going to bump the mic. I have the choice of the mic showing in the camera, the mic being, maybe if I put it there, if I get it close to me, it's going to be close to these needles. So I probably am going to bump the mic. And as you can see, no matter where I put it right now, it's showing. Okay, so this definitely has a right and wrong side. Even though it's garter, the wrong side is where I changed colors. And this is what you get, of course, when you change colors on the wrong side. This strip of the two colors, whoops, not in the camera, right here. So there's definitely a right and a wrong side, and since there's a wrong side, all of my things are, all my color changes are along there, right there, see them? And I'll weave those in. This doesn't need they gotta be woven in really tight because it's going to lay on the floor. I have one stitch here that came undone from the last row. Let's see here. Still not. There we go. That's what we need. There we go. That's about the best I can do. I really. Oh, maybe I can get it to come down. Yeah, I messed up the focus there a little bit. Alright, so I'm on the right side. I have the yarn down below me here, and I have 4 more rows. I'm tending to call a row the front and back, but I have 4 more rows to do on this orange before I go to the black all the way across. And that's one of the reasons I'm a little concerned about using up the black. Alright, the very first thing I'm going to show you is I have this huge gap when I change colors because I'm running this border along the side. So I need to kind of seal that up. I don't want a open area all the way down. So the way I've been doing that is picking up the stitch below of the color that's coming up, knitting it with the black, and there are 5 stitches in that black border, and doing a slip stitch, not a slip stitch, knit stitch past the previous stitch over. And that's what's sealing my edge up. Okay, it's making a little bit of a bump, but it's really not that bad. Once I do that, and I only do that on the right side, now I can just knit. And I can see that I'm going to need to move my yarn over here. So it's coming from my right hand side. There we go. I am constantly moving the balls on this, untangling with because I have 2 balls of black, one for each side, so I don't have to carry it, and I have the main color that's going across the thing, going across the strip of color in the main body of the rug. I'll find the words. If I go poof in the stream, we do have stormy weather around here right now. No active thunder right now. We had some earlier, and it's coming in waves, and they're still predicting possible thunderstorms through most of the day. So I lost my electric twice yesterday. It was nothing more than, 3 times. It was nothing more than a blink. All right, it wasn't, the electric went off for a long time, but the blink was enough to turn the computers off, which is very frustrating. So, yeah. If I go poof, I probably come back depending on how close I am to the 2 hours. I may or may not come back. I don't know. Magic disappearing act. That's kind of exciting in a stream. Where'd she go? She disappeared. Nope. Just no place to put it. I hope you can hear me. I'm trying to talk loud enough. Normally I knit in a recliner. And the other thing about this project is it's growing and very warm on the lap. So it takes up all my lap, and it's nice to be in a recliner. Today it's going to maybe go down my legs here. Okay, let's do a replay. First of all, my yarn always ends up on the wrong side here. Flip my yarn over here. Now, I'm going to pick up the color. I'm going to knit it with the black. Knit the next one, and then pass the previous stitch over it. Now, I know when they say you're doing color work, you do a twist, but that is not that's when you're traveling the color all across the row, right? This is a little different. The twist, I just didn't do it because I hate that. I hate twisting color work, but because you gotta straighten your yarn out so much. But the second reason is I
feel this is making a tighter join of the colors along both sides. Now you can see that was one row. It doesn't take that long to do a row. Unfortunately, I am a very old-fashioned style slow knitter. You know, what they call the throw style. I have never been able to do this with any degree of, I can do it, okay, but it's not comfortable. I have to grab several times on the picking style like that. You can see I can do it. My tension is very wonky for that kind of knitting, so I don't knit that way. I try it and then I was like, never mind. Now the question is, after I do this big band, I'm going to have to decide whether to mirror image it or follow the pattern from, you know, end to end. And I think the reason I'm going to do follow the end to end is because this one being the last one is I have the least of, and I don't think this rug is going to use up all this yarn, unfortunately, which, you know, might give me an opportunity to try my idea of if I did stockinette stitch instead of the garter stitch, would it be a more wearable fabric for me? Because that's the goal of Stash Dash, get it out of here. And I have so much hand spun to use. So much. Now what I was going to tell you about is that the balls of yarn here, I did not mark how much yardage I have. I just wound them off and started knitting years ago before Stash Dash. So I have no idea when I started Stash Dash, well, not quite a week ago, how much yardage I had already used in this, and you can count everything if you complete the project. So I had to figure that out, and the way I did that is I measured off 5 yards of this brown that is here, and knit 2 rows. You know, the one garter bump. Make 2 rows makes 1 garter bump. So I knit the 2 rows, and I used the 5 yards, and I used about 3 inches more to do the 2 complete rows. And that was, I included the 10 stitches for the black by going 10 more stitches on the main color, because it was the main color that I was using to measure it off. So that's how I know. So I know that 1 garter bump is 5 yards. So I counted from where I was when I measured that, how many garter bumps I had, and recorded that. So now I know how many yards, you know, multiply the garter bump by 5, and I know I can count that many yards for that. So that was pretty easy, and I'm going to continue to do that. I may even count total garter bumps on the whole rug at some point, but I went ahead and counted. I know where I was when I stopped, but it doesn't matter. I can count the whole thing, multiply by 5, and I know how many yards. But there's a really cool thing. I spun all this yarn, and so after I have that yardage, I get to count it for each time it passed through the orifice of the spinning. It's a 2-ply, so that's times 2, and then when I plied it, that's times 3. So I get to count that too as getting this out of I'm counting the yarn the for the knitting, and I'm counting the yarn for the spinning, right? I can count both. So that's pretty cool. And guess what else I finished? Not yesterday, 2 days ago. I finished watching last year's Tour de France, which I had recorded and had 3 episodes left. So I watched those over the last week, and now I'm all good to go. I'll record the tour. I don't always get to watch it the day that it's running, right? So I'm all ready to do that. It really put me in the mood for it. I was like, oh yeah, I like this. Can't wait for it to come on. And I'm in the process of setting up my spinning nook, my spinning corner that in the living room that I can watch the TV and spin. Got my projects my fibers all planned that I'm going to spin. I don't have them all processed. Oh, I have a join. I hope I get that on the wrong side. I'll slip it back on the wrong side if I don't. Oh, I need to change my title. Hang on. I just noticed that. That's not right. I'm going to do some magic here. Not spinning. Poof. Wave your magic wand and it's there. All right. I get the message that goes out when I go live, that the alert that people get, but sometimes I forget that I have a title under there. Mostly because I have been spinning that Jacob the last number of streams, so I haven't had to change it. I will be plying that Jacob on Sunday, and that'll be the end of that project. And probably my first yardage for Stash Down. I'm going to Fiber Fair, I said that, on Friday, but I will not be able to count anything I buy at the Fiber Fair, which is okay because I already have all the projects planned for Stash Down. And so yeah, that's fine. I won't be able to count it. It's not in my house yet when Stash Down started, so Can't count it. Till next year. Oops, dropped a stitch. Come back. There we go. That's because my yarn is stuck underneath all this. This should be the last row, this orange, on this band of color. I am only going to get one more repeat, I think, of this dark orange. It's too bad, but it was close. It's supposed to be scrappy anyway. I'm just being too linear about it. This is obviously not a travel project. This is a sit in one place project. And I will knit on this, of course, off string too. Alright, I'm going to cut the orange, and I'm going to be doing a small band of black. I don't want to use up all my black. Let's see here. And let me get the orange out of there. Not much left. It's going to be a hint of this band of color one time. So I'll figure that out. Now I need to figure out which one this is. Hopefully it's on the side I'm on. Oh, nothing like putting a hair in there. this little ball was just some I wound off from this, so I'd have two sides. And of course, it's the one. Alright, well, I'll knit with this across once. Okay. Let me finish my notes here. On this. This was dark orange. I have the most of this green, which I really, really like. I think I'm a teacher or something. I keep using, I've got this tool in my hand to point with. I got a pointer. Come on. Ooh, that didn't want to go over. Okay. Yep, that's the right one. Alright, we're going to put a... I'll see what it looks like after I do 2 rows. I haven't decided. It's a narrow band, but I haven't decided how narrow. And just so you can see, there's one. Am I on camera here? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bumps. That's how I count them. And then I'm going to do a pretty wide band with the pink. Although I like that pink and green together. Maybe I won't do too wide of a band. I'm already thinking of my next project for this. Because I'm pretty sure I will use up... I'll probably have to use a little bit of this. And I'm pretty sure I'll use this all up, the brown all up. And this might have a little bit left. I may be wrong. I may be totally wrong though, because it's pretty thick yarn and not all that much yardage in those balls. And I can end it whenever I want. Yes, I can. I'm the only one that's gonna see it. Well, and hubby. Alright. I want to pick this up. Start using this one. join work? Sort of. It's a little loose, but... It's hard to see my 5 now. It's all the same color. Alright, I'm going to cut this black off. The small ball. And I will only have... big ball. This is where you hunker down and do some just knitting. Listen to the music. Don't have much to talk about anymore now. Alright, I'm going to tie this. This is not happy. There we go. Unfortunately, I don't think I have any more Black Welsh Mountain fiber that if I had to spin more, it's kind of an integral part of the whole rug. But like I say, I have some from that I actually was going to do a different project, and there is, I think there's one ball that's thicker than the rest of it, so I'll have to dig that out and take a look. That'll make me feel a little more secure if I have that to fall back on. But I hate to have all this work go into it and then not finish it, because I gotta order more and spin more of the Black Welsh Mountain. But I've got all summer, so maybe. Maybe. It's pretty much my whole attitude about spinning, and, you know, if I need to do it, I do it. If I want to do it, I do it. Making myself notes here. Something I want to do on Sunday stream. Of course, I have to actually look at that note, don't I? I may not. I will when I sit down to set up for the stream. Boy, it's nice only having one yarn to knit with, one color. That's one band. Can hardly see it. I think 3 is what I'm gonna do. That's 6 rows. It kind of looks like half of the color blocks. wiggle. Oh. It's sliding down my lap. Yes, it would make a good lap robe. And, you know, if I had the horse-drawn carriage or on the sleigh, rides, runners, and we were going out where it's all icy and snowy, I'd use it. You know, they used to call those kind of things rugs, right? That you put on. I mean, they may have pulled them up from the floor when they went out and it was so cold. Like, these blankets aren't worth nothing. Give me a rug. Give me a rug. Yeah, I can see how that would happen. Oops. I gotta join this one. One, two, oh, one more. Okay. Alright, that join was very interesting. I think I forgot to join the other side. I'll catch it on the back side. Yeah, I kind of got a hole there. Oh well. Stretch break. Ooh, shake it out, shake it out. So I forget to join because I don't have a separate color. Actually, I guess I don't really have to join. Maybe that's the point. I did here, but I'll have to see what it looks like. It just seemed, I don't know, it looked like it needed it there. Hang on, I want to write this down. There is a viewer. Wait, there's only one in there. it says Discord for small. Those are ones. Streamers. Wonder if there's an actual Discord for that. That's one I've not seen before. Could be a valuable asset. I don't know if they contact you or what. Or I haven't gotten any indication that they're hosting or anything. So if there's anybody listening from Discord for small streamers, speak up. Tell me about it. I'd love to know. I know that maybe it's like the no viewer. You can type that in your browser. I forget what it is, the actual words, but it'll pick up the Twitch streams that have no viewers. I bet it's like that. Alright. Hello. Yes, I am knitting for Stash Dash. I am trying to use this stuff up. How are you? Good morning, Caro's mom. Thank you for popping by. I am very early this morning. And look, Tuna Basil. Hi. This is Jammy Jeepers. I changed your name. Oh, did you? Well, cool. I'm just still going to call you Jamie. No, I'll call you Sock Wizard. I like that. Good morning, Tuna Basil. I haven't seen you for a while. I haven't seen Carolyn for a while. Good to see you all. Yes, I am knitting for Stash Dash. And this is my project that Jammy Jam, Sock Wizard, whatever. This is my first knitting project for Stash Dash. It was, it was about to here, halfway. It's a rug, and it is hand spun, and so I not only get to count the knitting, I get to count the spinning too, if I finish it, and I will. Thank you. I dyed them. Now some are natural. This is a natural brown from a sheep. The black is natural Black Welsh Mountain, and I have more of that down below in my box. I'm working with it right here. And I'm about ready to start on this pink. These two are my favorite colors, the pink and the green. I like those two. I haven't put any pink in the rug yet. I'm putting that as the center band. So let me see. Is that enough of a break band for... I really think I want to go another row. hang on a minute. I dropped my counter card. Alright, sorry about that. Right in the camera. Anyway, I have a card where I'm keeping track of rows here. Okay, rugs are fun, Carolyn says, but I can't talk hubby into an actual bath mat in the bathroom. He likes the towel thing, and he got used to in the Navy. Yeah. That's okay. I don't like something that I can't throw in the washer either in the bathroom. Right, this is for beside my bed, so I can have a little less chill in the wintertime when I get out of bed. Is my camera on the knitting? I bumped the camera, sorry. It's pretty good there. It's just garter stitch, and that was the only way I could figure. I did not have a yardage for any of this yarn, so the only way I could figure out is to measure out how much it took to do one garter bump, which is 2 rows, and I did that, and it was 5 yards and 3 inches, and I'm not counting the 3 inches. I'm just gonna do the 5 yards for each garter bump when I'm done with the rug to count up the yardage. All of these are wools, and they have been in my stash forever. This rug was half done over, I think, 3 years. So I'm real happy to be working on it and getting it done. It's the first year I've done Stash Dash, so I'm liking the incentive that it gives me. I didn't know about it till this year. I'm not, I don't listen to their podcast, although I probably will start listening to it, but I haven't in the past, so I didn't find out about it until they started talking about it on, I guess, a Discord. Somebody's Discord. Okay, Tuna Basil doesn't know about Stash Dash. So there's a podcast called The Knit Girls. I don't know if there's a the in front of it, or I think it's just knit. G-I-R. And there's 3 L's, I think. Boy, I'm terrible. That's not a link, obviously. That's just to give you something to search on your podcast catchers. They've had a podcast for many, many years, and they, quite a few years ago, I don't know how many years ago, started Stash Dash. And it's their thing, right? So it is to use up fiber if you spin, yarn if you knit, fiber and yarn if you're a spinner, knitter, whatever, crocheter. It is to keep track of the yards you use from, it started May 27th. It's going to end August 31st. You got all summer long. And the only caveat is you got to post it, finished project, each project, you know, and I mean, with the yardage. And actually they want meters, so use your Google to make meters. And it can be commercial yarn, lots and lots and lots of them that are doing it. That's what they're knitting with. And there is no competition except with yourself, right? This is incentive to get things done if you have works in progress. And the other incentive is if you have 99.9% of a project done and all you had to do was knit a little bit of it or something. Sewing on buttons doesn't count, but if you have to finish ribbing or finish the last inch of a sleeve and everything else is done, you get to count the yardage for the whole project. Like I said, there's no competition with anybody else. It's all your personal goal. And then they have, this is all on Discord, and they have a channel for 1K, 3K, 5K, that sort of thing. So you pick a channel, you pick a goal. Like say, okay, I think I'm picking 12K, I think, because I spend so much. But if you're just a knitter, it's better to go with a lower, you don't use quite as much up. Yeah, it's really cool. It's Leslie and Laura, and it's a huge incentive. Let me see if I can find their Discord, because I put it up before, and it was an open link. I mean, it lets you join, and that's where it's all happening. There's my Discord. Come on. Oh, there it is. Hang on a minute. I'm going to be doing computer stuff here. Now, how do I get a link? Let's see here. Alright, it is The Knit, and there are 3 L's. Let's come back in. Can I get a link? No, I don't want to update. Huh. I thought you used to be able to get links. Alright. Anyway, this is the way they have it in Discord. So maybe you can search on that. I thought I put a link up before, but I don't remember how I got the link. All right. Change color next row. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Suck Wizard, Jimmy. Good to see you guys today. I'm early this morning, I know. We are going to take off after I get done and go drive up partway to where I'm going to the Fiber Fair on Friday, tomorrow. So, we're going to spend the night and then go on up to the Fiber Fair tomorrow. Yay! I'll have so much to talk about on Sunday. I should be on my regular time Sunday at 3 o'clock. It is the Hoosier Hills. It's in Franklin, Indiana. It's a small one, and it might be even smaller this year. Not one I get to very often. I haven't been there for a number of years. Franklin, Indiana is pretty close to Indianapolis. It's that's central Indiana. Tuna, yay! Let's see, you probably went. Did you go to the one in Worcester? That one was a bit far for me to go to, and we had other plans. Yeah, yeah. The thing is, where I live, I have a lot. I probably have about 10 that I actually could go to. Some are a little longer distance, like SAF. I have to make it a weekend thing, right? Drive down, go, stay, and drive back. That one is in North or South Carolina. I forget. It's south of us, though. That's the furthest one I go to. Oh yeah, an hour's perfect, isn't it? Okay, was it, everything outside? Was it, a fair number of people? I plan to wear a mask. I don't know whether they're going to have indoor vendors or not. I thought I heard Worcester was all outdoor vendors. The first one I usually go to is in Greencastle, Indiana. That's about the same amount of distance as going to this one that I'm going to go to. And we often spend a night too going to Greencastle. It's very early. It is always the second weekend of April, and it can be cold. Let me tell you, it can be cold. That was the one I used to vend at the most. Alright, let's tie this on. This pink is a different wool and it is really, I had a lot of trouble. You can see the thick and thin. I had a lot of trouble spinning this one. Okay, good. Thank you. That link worked for her. Great. And then Tuna Basil says she went at the end of the show. It had indoor vendors, but the indoor was like open air with a cross-breeds barn type. Yeah, sometimes they have a whole side they can, especially in the summer ones, where they're plastic down if it's raining, but they can put them up and you get your cross-breeds. I know exactly what you're talking about. You wore a mask and about 50% of the people were wearing masks. Okay. Well, hubby and I are both vaccinated, but I'm still more than likely, if I'm inside, I'll wear a mask. If I'm going to go into a booth where there's a lot of people, or I'll avoid that and go back later. Ooh, I like this pink though. I do like the color. I think everybody's just so excited to be. It's just like, yeah. It's just, and And it's not like I didn't buy fiber. I mean, I shopped online. Just not the same, is it? I want to talk to the people. I want to hear the people talking fiber talk around me, right? But when I told one of my good fiber friends that I was going, her comment was, she knows that I've had the knee surgery. She said, okay, take it slow. And I wrote her back and I said, that goes both for my walking and my spending. Right? Take it slow. Don't spend too much.
Tuna Basil said it was awesome. It was definitely a bit overwhelming after not being at an event for a year. There's people who, are saying I'm not ready to be with people yet, and unfortunately, I'm very much a people person. So I'm ready. I'm really ready. But you really enjoyed it and look forward to events in the future. Yeah, I know. It's really awesome.
I always come home so full of ideas and energized, and I don't even need that. I don't even need the free stuff because I have my whole summer planned with between the Tour de Fleece, what projects I want to do for that, and the Stash Dash. So I'm not wanting for inspiration. That's a good place to be. It really is. Hi, Veggie. You're both ready and not ready. It's bad when the introverts are like, I want people. That shows you how bad it is, right? Even the introverts are like, I need to hear somebody besides the person I live with and have lived with for nonstop for this last, how many months? Year and a half? Yes. I know. Okay. So, I need one more row in the pink here. Getting ahead of myself. So what's everybody working on these days? And how's everybody's actual work? People still working at home? Back to the office yet? I can tell you, hubby and I, this week we have gone out more this week than I think we have for months and months. Yesterday he had a CT scan, so we ate out after that. we will eat out. Going up to the hotel today. We will have to eat out tomorrow. I'm doing my bit to stimulate the economy. I'm tired of cooking. My goodness. Tuna Basil says, I'm spinning some rainbow Cheviot sock yarn. Fun. Cheviot for socks, yes. Win-win. And I work from home, so no real change in your routine. Okay. The one big change I want to make in my routine is I want to get back to going to the Y, their water aerobic class. That's my goal for this next week. The pool is uncovered after Memorial Day, so I don't want it. I want it somewhat warm when I go. Jamie James said we're going to work on some music stuff. Okay, go ahead and turn down the volume and lurk. And work good. I'll see you Sunday, maybe. Let me tell you, this pink yarn is the epitome of underplied. Probably should have run it through the... Oh, wait. Black. I probably should have run it through the spinning wheel again. I didn't realize it was so underplied. I have a cardinal right outside my window here. I don't have the window open. You won't be able to hear him. But he is singing his head off. His special call. We often say that it sounds like pretty, pretty, pretty. Like he's bragging. You just started getting used to going to the gym right before the pandemic. Oh, water aerobics is about, I can ride elliptical bikes. I can walk a treadmill, so I do that too. But the water aerobics is just an awesome class. And I was a regular before, up until 2019. Then I had my knee surgery. And I had just gotten back to going, and then of course everything closed down in 2020 because I had to wait a certain amount of time after my knee surgery. So anyway, it's very, very good for me because even with the new knees, I need low impact on the knees, and that's what the water aerobics is. Unfortunately, the teacher I think she teaches Tuesday and Thursday mornings, so that's not a big deal. I can do Tuesday and Thursdays. I can change my day. I can work around that. But there is one teacher I really like, so I will go to her class and work around it. If she's still there. She should be. Alright. I need to do some untangling here. Yeah, yeah. Veggie it is. Even before the surgery and, especially before the surgery, but right now it's a big thing about developing the quad muscles right above your knee. And that's a focal point for anybody that has knee problems. Felt like nothing, at least until later in the water Zumba. They don't have that at my Y that has the pool, but I tell you what, they have another class that is called deep water, and I don't do the deep water because I can swim, but sorta. I mean, I can not really swim laps in there or anything like that, but you wear a belt flotation device and you work in the deep water, so you never touch bottom. And I just never felt like I wanted to try that. Right? I want my feet on the bottom when I'm doing bouncing around. Yeah, the aquatic Zumba would be that would be hard. I mean, it'd be really good for you. A little more aerobic, I think, than what we do. Come on, I have to admit that a lot of the people that are in that class are older than me, right? They're in their 80s. So they are being a little careful. But you do whatever you want to do at your own pace. It cracks me up, the women that can go in there and not get a drop of water on their hair, as opposed to the others that, look like they've been swimming. Well, they have been swimming. I mean, they're totally underwater. It's a fun class. I move my camera. I don't have my yarn in the camera anymore. Oh well, it's not gonna be. That's all right. You guys get the idea. Nope. Mike, sorry. Stupid Mike, I can't find a place to put it. So as long as Stash Dash is going, I will be knitting on Thursdays. I don't know that it'll always be in the morning. It is morning because today, because we are taking off and heading north, staying the night, and then going to Fiber Fair. So, but Thursdays are going to always be knitting. I was doing the Throwback Thursday where I was doing the old style crafts. I'm not going to call it that necessarily because, you know, knitting is not really old style and a lot of people knit on stream. So anyway, it will be, though, knitting on Stash Dash stuff. And I do have a Discord. I don't know if you all are in there or not, but I am, I'm going to make a channel. I haven't done it yet, but once I get thanks, good tuna. Once I get, I'll make a Stash Dash, and I'm going to be posting each project when it gets finished. I'll keep it for finished projects. You can post whatever you want. I'm just, for my own sake, only going to put the finished stuff in there. I'm going to be on 4 teams for Tour de France this year. One team is the Sock Madness team, and they are they have rules that are basically no rules, right? So I just join them for the fun of spinning every day and posting what I'm working on. And then there's the Team Twitch, which we will be doing raid trains, and you know, the people who are streamers will be on the team will be streaming more. I'll be streaming more often. I'm doing a Wool Lovers Unite, which works up whole fleeces. That is my least priority. I have a fleece that I want to dye using black walnuts, and so it's right at, I mean, I haven't done anything. It's right at the beginning of it. So that is my, it's probably a goal I'm not going to make, right? It's my least goal. And the last one is the Shave 'em to Save 'em, which I only really have 2 fibers that I'll probably spin during Tour de Fleece. The raid train was so much fun last year, and I'm going to have a stream anniversary here too during Tour de Fleece, so lots of fun stuff. But it was really fun, and like I was so new to Twitch, you know, I was just following and making, you know, it was just really great. Yeah, black walnut dye is, I collected them last fall. They have been in big covered buckets over the winter, and it's ready to go. So I should at least get the fiber dyed during turtle fleece. It's a big fleece. It's a big Rambouillet. His name was Bullwinkle. So you'll hear me talking about Bullwinkle. Oh, that's cool. Tina says, I can't wait to see how Turtle Fleece is on Twitch this year. It is my first time knowing about it and participating. Veggie says the raid train brought me here. Same, yeah. Well, sort of, about knowing about it. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, a lot of people did start. I mean, the base core of us streamers that we all know and follow have been on a couple of years, but there's a lot of us new ones too. I don't know what you're talking about, Veggie. You won't be skipping leg day, do you mean? Oh, leg's gonna be swollen from spinning so much? Treadling a lot, yeah, right. A lot of treadling. Hey, better that than biking. I did once see on a forum somebody ask if anybody knew how many calories treadling a spinning wheel gave them on their diet. I was like, oh, don't think that is enough to count. Oh yeah, I mean, one of mine is an electric. That's definitely the big sweater spin for the Turtle. See, I didn't say that. The Twitch team also has specific spins for prizes, and one of them's a sweater spin, and I am going to do a sweater spin this year, and I'm going to do it on the Aura. So that mostly will be what you see on the stream. It'll be it's California Variegated Mutant, CVM. It's so soft and it's a light gray. It's going to be beautiful sweater yarn. And I have 1.5 fleeces of it. So I have a lot that I can do. I figured there will be enough. I got to drum cart it. I got to make bats. And I apologize if any of you guys have heard this before, but I'm pretty much just settled on this goal and what I was going to do this week. So I've been talking about it, other streams. There's a joke about gym people who lift weights and are all buff on top, but their legs are skinny. Well, they should start spinning. They're Popeyes, right? That's the way the cartoon was, the Popeyes. His little bow legs. Tuna Basil says she's going to do a sweater spin, and she's also wanted to try CVM, which is cool. Right now you're spinning some Lopi yarn for a Lopi sweater during Turtle Fleece. It's barely spun though. Yes, I know. I've done that. But what fiber are you using? You know, what are you starting with the prep and that sort of thing? In fact, I did that on stream a long time ago. It's probably not around anymore. It's probably on the YouTube uploads. I liked it, but I only did like a sample size. I didn't do a whole project, right? I was just showing how to do that with one of the Shave 'em to Save 'em breeds. Yeah. Oh, Black Icelandic is perfect. And you kept the Tog and Thel together. When I have a white Icelandic, and unfortunately I pulled the Tog and Thel apart. And now I'm realizing I really wish that I had left it together. Because of that reason, to do the Lopi style. Oh, your phone died. Well, poor baby. Give it some juice. Give the baby juice. Glad you're back. You did keep them together good. The fleece is really soft, so it's softer than I thought it would be compared to the store-bought Lopi. How interesting. That's nice. That'll make a lovely sweater. And that's a traditional use for Icelandic, that's for sure. You have some Icelandic. This is Tuna Basil that is saying she had some Icelandic that isn't quite as soft and dyed some of the leftover with black walnut dye. Oh, okay. Planning on doing almost all the color work with Icelandic. So you'll have a yoke pattern with brown from the black walnut. That's neat. Can't wait to see that. I can see it in my head. I can't wait to see it in real life. Not real life, but you know what I mean. After you make it. It is just so awesome, the creative ideas. Really. It just really is. I have been doing this for so many years, and sometimes I'm down where I'm not thinking about what I want to do or trying to do anything, but sometimes it just really takes off and my brain gets filled with things to try and do, and I really like what comes out. I know, Veggie. I think it sounds really, really good. Veggie's gonna Scrooge, McDuck, all the floof. Yeah. I know it's it's something when you're spinning it and you don't want it to end, right? That's when you know it was a really good fiber and a fun spin. I'm feeling that way with the Jacob I'm doing right now. Although I am going to be really curious how much I get yardage wise. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a lot. It's on the big Ara bobbins and it's kind of thin, so not totally thin, but I'm hoping I get a decent amount of yardage. That I am so happy. Tuna Basil says she is wanting to get into the SESE breeds this year, and you've been wanting to get the passport. I am so happy that they took the expiration date off of that. It was going to expire in December, and they've made it indefinite now, so go for it. You got all the time in the world. And that's a good thing too, because see what that means is, okay, so they're pulling from specific breeders of these specific breeds of sheep, and they can always request to be on that list, and they can expand the program that way, so we have more breeders maybe, and the breeders didn't lose that opportunity in December to sell the fleece, right? I think it's just a win-win every way. So I'm glad they did that. Yeah, Veggie agrees with me. They are going to continue getting people because that's what happened over these 2 years. Those of us that have been doing it, been talking a lot about it, and people have found out about it. That's exactly what should happen. And now, see, it works good. We got a new set of people to buy the fiber from these breeders. I don't need to buy any more, right? All those of us that have done are 10 or whatever, 10 or 12, 15. I have 16 fibers. I do not know if I'm going to get the last 5 or not, because they are hard fibers. They're really hard to do anything with. I can't think of the one that's... What's the one that's really bad? Oh, let me finish this row and then I'm going to look at my passport. That I think I'm going to try and make a felted animal with, do needle felting with, because I don't think it's going to spin good at all. I need to do this. Okay, let me back up here. Veggies is glad it's not expiring. Tuna's really glad, really excited, and working on a really big project right now, so it just haven't had the time to get into it. Okay, yeah. And Veggie says all those people who finally started to spin last year, there is that. They got new spinners. That's awesome too. Tuna Basil says, I also live pretty close to Ross Farm. I know Ross Farm fibers from vending. I mean, from fiber fairs. I bought stuff from her at fiber fairs. And they have a store devoted to the SESE breeds. That's right, they do. That's a very good link to use. Or, recommendation. That's a very good recommendation. They have good stuff. Oh, it's pouring rain. It's pouring. Also raises his hand. Do you have a question? Oh. Are you putting your bid in? You have to be careful if you go to an auction and you raise your hand. You buy something you may not want. All right, I need to take a quick break here. No, I'm not going to go off stream, but I'm going to see if I can tell you about. Let's see. Gulf Coast spun pretty good. Hog Island spun real nice. Black Welsh Mountain, I'm using yarn and knitting a top out of it. That's something different. That's the one thing I'm doing different. Oh, that's right. Okay, you guys are new to spinning. Okay. I forget about that because it seems like you've been spinning forever. Clune Forest is one that I'm going to spin during the Turtle Fleece. The Cotswold spun really nice. Dorset Horn spun really nice. It was a little rough. The Jacob is what I'm spinning right now. It's just awesome. It's so soft. The Caracol is going to be next that I spin, and it's pretty soft. I really like it. Leicester Long Wool. A little rough, but really, really nice wool that's going to have a good stitch definition, like good for cabling and showing off your stitches. The Lincoln spun real good. The Navajo Churro I made into the single that looks like Lopi, and I'm going to weave it, okay? Because the whole thing about the Navajo Churro is the make rugs, and so I'm not going to be making a rug. I'm going to be making a hot mat kind of thing, but I'm going to do that on stream. The singles are done, but I have to set up the loom. I have a little table loom that I have to set up for it. The CVM is another one that I'm doing during Turtle Fleece. Okay. The Tunis was gorgeous. It was softer than any Tunis. I've spun a lot of Tunis this year, and it was softer than any Tunis I spun. The Shetland was really nice, and the Southdown was really nice. So it's a St. Croix. St. Croix is all guard hair, and it's just as bristly as can be. I had another bristly one, not for the Shave 'em to Save 'em, but for the 52 Weeks of Sheep last year. When I was doing that and it was really, really bristly, what I did was I made bats, very small hand bats, and stripped it and just knit. I didn't even spin it. I just knit with it, and I made scratcher pads. Okay, that's what I did with one of the breeds for the 52 Weeks of Sheep that was so rough I didn't even want to spin it. And the St. Croix is the same way. That's the only one I ran into. Now I don't have Florida Cracker. I mean, there's breeds I don't have. I don't have Florida Cracker. I don't have Santa Cruz. I don't have Barbados Black Belly, Oxford or Shropshire, Wiltshire Horn. Those are the ones I don't have. Either fiber or already spun. Great heads up on the St. Croix. I know, and it's, if you're willing to do something, I mean, you just got to know that maybe you need to do something other than spin it. I bought Black Welsh Mountain from Desert Wear. I bought yarn because I have spun so much Black Welsh Mountain. The black in this rug is Black Welsh Mountain. I've spun so much of it over the years, and it was lace weight, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. Let's try that instead of, and it counts to the passport, because you just have to take it from whatever it is to the next step. So yarn becomes a project and knitted or crocheted or whatever. So that works too. So think about that. There's always the possibility, if you find yarn, that you can use the yarn instead of spinning it. But what I think I'm going to do with the St. Croix is try needle felting. And it may not even work with that. It may be too stiff. And I may go back to my scrubby idea if I don't like the needle felting. But it's definitely one I'm not going to submit. I'm just going to play with it. Like I said, I have 16. So I should be able to get 15 submitted without using it. So anyway, yeah. I am going to wrap it up, I think. Let me do one more row because I'm on the back side here and I want to finish up so that I know where I'm at. Even though it's only 2 rows and garter bumps and knit, it doesn't matter. I'll do one more row. So where are we here in the chat? Okay. Yeah, the one you wouldn't look forward to, Blackberry Barbados, I agree. I think that's another one. That's why I didn't buy it. And Scrubbies is a really good idea. I even use one. I mean, it's... If you're squeamish about using wool on dishes because of where it comes from, use it to scrub your sink. That kind of thing. For some reason you were thinking Hogs Island is really not fun to spin. Yeah. One more row. Knitter's famous last words. You're right. I'm almost done, honey. One more row. You got me. That's why it's so much fun when you guys pop around and chat. I got a lot done. Way more than I usually do. This pink band is the center, and I think I'm going to do double width of color. Put the 3 rows of black, and then do a continue so the green will be next. No. Sorry. The light yellow. This one will be next. And just do a continuous until I either get tired of it or run out of yarn. One of the two. It's going to be here a while. Probably we'll see it next Thursday. Or maybe I'll bring the Black Welsh Mountain knitting that I'm doing. Because it all has to be done. If I'm going to try and use it for Stash Dash. I am glad too, Tuna Basil. I really enjoy the chat. Need to get something to eat though before we head out the door. Besides, who wants to load stuff in the car when it's raining? Wait till this band of showers get over with. Hubby is so ready to go. He likes to go to the casino I'm not fond of it, so I get a pamper night and enjoy time in the room alone while he gambles. And then I get to spend my money at the Fiber Fair. So we both get to spend our money the way we want. Oops, whoops, oops, oops. Hang on. Change your color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Time for black. Okay. I don't know if I can get all this on the camera or not. I did earlier. Hang on. That's a good chunk of it, anyway. So, I am going to say, let's meet again on Sunday. I'll be back. It is currently right before noon, my time here, so I'll be back at 3 p.m. that time, whatever time that is for you, and I will see you then. You all have a good rest of the week. Stay safe and happy spinning. Bye.